Boom, we're back. I had to do something real quick. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, like I was saying, shots are beautiful. The plot, I feel, develops in a very natural and unforced way. That's what I really loved about the film. One of the, now that I'm thinking about it even more, is that the film develops very beautifully and naturally. The plot isn't forced on you through exposition. Well, it kind of is, but you see it for the most part. You see these people's expressions. The acting is top notch, and the story just develops in a beautiful way with even a little sprinkle of political commentary on it. And also, another thing I got to commend about Roma, the child performances. I can't tell you, I hate kids in movies 90% of the time. They suck. They're horrible. I hate them because they don't know what the hell they're doing, and they suck. That's all I can say. But these kids felt very natural. They felt like they weren't even acting. It felt like they were just kids. It was amazing. These are probably the best child actors I've seen since that one kid in Moonlight. It's really incredible. So that's why Roma gets my number 10 spot. I have a few issues with it, especially the pacing and the fact that the plot takes a little long to kick in. That's why it's not higher up on my list, but I feel like it's definitely deserves a spot on my list because it is a beautiful masterpiece that I feel you guys should check out. Definitely, it's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. Number 9, Bradley Cooper's A Star is Born. With this movie, I had been anticipating it because I saw the trailer. The trailer was badass. It didn't reveal a lot. It revealed just enough, I felt, to get you interested in the film. Because the thing I learned this year is that trailers are super misleading. Oh my God. The Welcome to Morrowind trailer was amazing. It made me cry. But you know what? It's sitting at a 25% Rotten Tomatoes right now. The Mule, I thought, was a really good trailer. I thought it had a bunch of potential, and I thought it was really dope. And it ended up being super boring and bland and just dumb. It was a dumb movie. White Boy Rick, another super misleading trailer. The trailer is probably the best trailer of all of them. It was, oh my God, the White Boy Rick trailer. If I was rating top 10 trailers this year, the White Boy Rick trailer was number 1. It was super dope. But when I saw it, it was a mess. It was like Slenderman. Like, there were scenes that were supposed to be there that were just like cut out or something. I don't know what the hell was going on with this movie. That there's just a bunch of scenes cut out and it just jumps around like jarringly. But we're not talking about that. That's a top 10 worst movies this year. But no, that's going back to A Star is Born. So I saw the trailer and I was really, really interested in it. It looked really cool. And I was excited because Bradley Cooper is probably one of my top 5 favorite actors. He's probably like number 5. Because, you know, my boy Gosling and Gyllenhaal are probably top 2. But yeah, when I saw it, I went to go see it with my buddy Alex. It was really good. It was really good. And I got to give it to him. First time director. Bradley Cooper, his first shot at it was not at all bad. He did an excellent job. A Star is Born, I felt, pushed many boundaries. I felt like Lady Gaga did a fantastic job being one of her first roles on the silver screen. Bradley Cooper did an excellent job. If he's nominated for Best Actor, I would be happy as well. I think he would be well deserved. The direction of the film is also amazing. The cinematography isn't half bad at all. It's actually really nice. The transitions I felt were amazing in the film. I felt the plot very moving. I felt all the musical numbers were amazing. The Maybe It's Time by Bradley Cooper, that one was really good. I played it a lot last year. Also Shallow, the single, if it wins Best Original Song, wouldn't be mad as well. It's a really powerhouse ballad. Overall, though, I just really enjoyed A Star is Born. I felt it's being it the 4th time that the movie's being made, I felt this was very solid, and I just really loved it. And number 8 is another Netflix movie, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, directed by the Coen brothers. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I didn't know it was coming out. I didn't. I I just hopped on Netflix, I think, one night after school. I finished all my work. I'm like, man, I'm bored. And I went on there, and it's on there, and it says directed by the Coen brothers. And I'm like, what? Because I love the Coen brothers' work. The Big Lebowski and Fargo, No Country for Old Men. I think they're all fantastic films. Really top notch. And with this one, it's kind of different from their films. This one's more separate stories, but it has some of my favorite actors. James Franco has what's his name? Liam Neeson. It has that one guy. What's his? He played the big brain dude in Incredible Hulk. Tim Blake Nelson. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. But yeah, these are separate stories, but I feel like each of them had a very strong moral lesson. And overall, the film is amazing. The one flaw I do have with it is that the first few stories are quick. The pace is really fast. But then when you get to, I think it's the fifth one, it slows down. And it's very noticeable because the first four are really fast. And then all of a sudden you just get to the fifth one and you're like, what the hell, why is this one like you're checking the time. That's what I was doing. I'm like, why is this one taking so long? Because the pacing really slows down. But the fifth one isn't bad. The first one, second one, and I think the fourth one are definitely my favorites, especially the first one. I really love the first one. But yeah, that's all I can say without spoiling a lot of the film. I thought it was really fantastic, and it's another Netflix movie. So if you guys have the chance, I would definitely check it out since, a lot of people have Netflix. So it's definitely a recommendation to see. Number 7 is Bad Times at the El Royale. Not one of the best trailers of the year. In fact, I thought it was super misleading when I first heard about Bad Times at the El Royale. Because I saw the trailer, I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like a horror movie trailer. It was like boom boom, and it's like dude going down the stairs, and it's like chun chun chun, and I was like, but it does have a lot of great actors that I really enjoy. Jeff Bridges. What's just another dude's name? It has Thor. It has I'm blanking out right now. But it has what's his name? Oh my god. I can't remember, but it's the guy that was in Baby Driver and Mad Men. And if you guys remember his name, put it in the comments because I really love him. He's a really great actor. John Hamm. I'm sorry. It took me forever to say them. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a stellar cast performance all around. It was a very fun story. Probably one of the most fun experiences at the cinema this year was with Bad Times. It was a really fun film, really fun story, great plot. I felt the third act, though, I felt detracts a little bit from that. And I felt some storylines were fleshed out a little bit too late. But overall, it's a fantastic film. And I feel people should definitely check it out. It's not on Blu-ray or digital. It's on digital right now. But it's not out on Blu-ray till January 1st. So just a few more days. It's definitely a day one purchase for me. I really loved it. The script was very Tarantino-like, which he's one of my favorite directors. But overall, I really enjoyed Bad Times at the El Royale. Number 6 is a very interesting choice. I've been interested in this movie since I heard about it, and that is Sorry to Bother You, directed by Boots Riley. This one's smaller than the rest of them that I've talked about so far, I think, other than Ballad of Buster Scruggs. This one had a more limited release because they were only showing it a few times at Regal, and then I had to go to Barrington. But thankfully, I was able to catch it again at Regal. This is the most original script I saw this year by far. This is a very strange film, especially when you get to the third act. It just evolves into complete, utter insanity. And you're like, what is going on? There's a ton of social commentary done right, though. This is a film that has a lot to say, but it says it very intelligently. It doesn't just say it in a very stupid, moronic way like The Purge did, which We'll talk more about that when I get to the top 10 worst films of the year, because The Purge sucked. It was, oh my god, it's so blatant in how it said its stuff. It's like, hey, don't grab me by the pussy. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, it was so obvious what it was referencing. And it was like, just very, I don't know. It's just, oh my god, give me a headache. But no, this one is a very smart film. It also has one of my favorite up-and-coming actors, Lakeith Stanfield. If you guys haven't seen him, check him out. He's in the TV show Atlanta. He was in Get Out. He was also, what else is he? He's been in something else. I forgot though. Damn, I feel bad. But yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. I thought he was great in this movie. He did a fantastic job. Lakeith, he's a very versatile actor. Terry Crews isn't in the movie much, but I really liked the parts he was in. Armie Hammer too is really fun. Tessa Thompson as well. She was great in the film. It's gonna get snubbed at the awards because it's a more smaller indie film, and they're gonna be like, oh, Star is Born, Best Picture, and this one's not even gonna get nominated. But still, I really enjoyed it. It was one of the most original, fun films that I've seen all year, and it was really, really good. You guys should check it out. It's on Blu-ray now. It's also on Hulu. If you guys have Hulu, you guys can check it out. It's already up on there. I would definitely recommend it. It's a more strange film, so you got to keep an open mind. But it's really fun. I really loved it. Now, the next 5, I really had a hard time figuring these out because these 5 all impacted me at a very emotional level, and I thought these were very hard to rank. But I did my best, and it gets even harder when I get to the top 3. But the top 5 were also very, very hard to figure out how to place them. But number 5 was Bo Burnham's 8th Grade. I thought this was a very, very, very introspective film. Especially me, having gone through 8th grade about just, I think, two years ago now, maybe 3. It's still really recent to me. And the way he captured the environment of late middle school, early high school was extremely accurate. I've seen a lot of adults that were like, oh, yeah, it wasn't that good. But it's a very, very exact film. And it also has a lot to say. It also talks about what us as teenagers don't usually want to talk about. But I thought it was an amazing film that asked a lot of questions and also showed adults into the minds of children. But I really love the film. And it was produced by A24, which is, if you guys don't know, it's my favorite production company. They've made some of my favorite films. They made this one. They made Mid-90s, which didn't make my list because I have a few issues with it, but was also really good for Jonah Hill's first outing. It made It Comes at Night, which is a film that I'm very torn on, but overall, I think I'm liking it more than I don't dislike it. Which is a super underrated film. Which is a really underrated horror film. Also, Moonlight, which actually won Best Picture a while back. Moonlight, and also another movie that's on my list, but it hasn't popped up yet, but we'll talk more about. Anyway, 8th Grade was just super accurate. It brought back a lot of memories, some painful, some happy, of my youth, even though I'm still in high school. Earlier. But overall, it was a really fun watch. I really loved it. Number 4 wasn't going to be number 4. It wasn't even going to be on the list when I first saw it. I was very torn and disappointed when I first saw it. But after reading a little bit more and reminiscing on the film, thinking more about it, and listening to the soundtrack more, this one made its way to number 4. And that is First Man directed by Damien Chazelle. Now, First Man, I know there was that huge controversy with the flag, and I think that's so stupid. The thing with the flag was really dumb, all right, because it showed the American flag. But people got pissed because, oh, it didn't show the flag getting planted. Even though this is a super patriotic film, if you haven't seen it, it really details what America had to go through to get someone on the moon. And I thought Ryan Gosling, who, if you didn't know, was my favorite actor. I love the man, my man crush. I love Ryan Gosling. He did an amazing job at portraying the enigmatic Neil Armstrong, because Neil Armstrong in real life was a very reserved, very smart man who didn't say a lot, but also had a lot to say. And I thought Ryan Gosling captured that perfectly. He's always played it as a more reserved actor, but that's why I love him, because he captures each character he plays very, very, very well. There are very few flaws that he does. He's been in bad movies, but he's never the reason why they're bad. And I just loved the production design, the fact, the ships. It has a very 2001 feel when it shows space. And I thought all those sets were built beautifully. They're amazing. I thought it was a very personal, very compelling story. And the soundtrack, oh my God, the soundtrack. I have been listening to it nonstop since I heard it in the film. It's amazing. It's really, really, really good. It's an amazing soundtrack. And if you guys haven't checked it out, even though I know not a lot of you listen to more like soundtracks for films, this is definitely one you should check out. And I feel it's very repetitive, and the soundtrack's very repetitive, but it's very good. It's the whole film is very well done. Damien Chazelle again knocked it out of the park. His first two films, Whiplash and La La Land, I thought were amazing. This is definitely another win for Chazelle, and I really loved it. It's amazing. Top three. These were the first two, First Man and Eighth Grade, were hard to rank, but these were really difficult. Like, I almost switched 3, 2, and 1, and they were all in a completely different order. But this is the way it goes. Number 3, Infinity War. Oh, wow. I really love this film. When it came out, I went to go see it with like 10 of my friends. I was offered to go see it the day before, and I almost did, because it was my most anticipated movie this year. And I didn't, because I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go see it with my homies because respect. But ever since it was announced, I have been waiting for Infinity War to drop, because I grew up with Marvel. I was born 2002, so when Iron Man, the first one, came out, I was the perfect age to go see it. I was about 6 years old, and I saw it in the theater, and I was like, whoa, man, you're so cool. And since then, I've been growing up watching these Marvel movies every year. I grew up with them. I remember I went to go see the first Avengers when I was 10, and when I saw Thanos look back, I thought it was like, I thought it was a Red Skull from the first Captain America, and I'm like, oh, it's Red Skull. But anyway, it's been a long time since then, and it was a really fun watch this year to see Infinity War. It was a blast seeing all characters that I grew up with just all together, seeing the Guardians meet Iron Man and all of that. It was super fun. I loved every second of it. I thought the Russo brothers, they did an amazing job at making sure all the characters had enough screen time, even though there's like 20 of them, and it's super hard to give them all exact screen time. But I also think they made the best villain so far in Marvel history and cinematic-wise with Thanos. I thought he was a super relatable character. He's not just evil for the sake of being evil. I thought he was very well developed. Josh Brolin did a really good job at playing him. And I can't wait for Endgame next year. But overall, I absolutely loved Infinity War. I bought it day one. It was really good. Really loved it. There we go. 2 and 1. Number 2, I actually just saw yesterday, and that is Vice. Now, I know a lot of critics are split on this film. I think right now it has like a 64% on Rotten Tomato, but this is a 10 out of 10 for me. It's incredible. The plot, if you don't know, it's basically a biopic of Dick Cheney, and I didn't know much about Dick Cheney. I'm a kid that's very interested in politics, and I knew a lot about the Bush administration, about the war going into Afghanistan, going into Iraq. I know we went there. I knew it was a huge waste of time, and we should have never gone there. But I just didn't know to what extent this had been true, and I didn't know because this whole time I'm like, oh, it was Bush's fault. He's just an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. Is Cheney? This film showed me a man, and it made me empathize with him, and it showed me just how the political system can be influenced. And I know people are saying, "Oh, this is a liberal film because Cheney was a conservative," and everything. This is nope because liberal view of the film. It's not. Me being a more centered person, I don't really lean left or right. I think both sides they both have great things to say, and I think there are parts of both sides that are good. It's not biased. It's not biased though. But it showed just how a man can change and he can grow. And I don't even have to mention Christian Bale's performance, because, I'm going to do it anyway, but I shouldn't. Christian Bale, he's one of my favorite actors. He's a method actor. And I think he gained like 50 pounds, 60 pounds for the role, and he bleached his eyebrows. That's how dedicated the man is. And he should definitely get a nomination. Ahead of all the other guys I said that should get nominations. He should definitely get a nomination for Best Actor. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to be really pissed. He did an amazing job at capturing Dick Cheney. In some scenes, I didn't even recognize the dude. I was like, this is incredible. Like, it was really good. And I thought there were some the editing was something I've never seen. I saw it a little bit in the director that Adam McKinney, I think his name is. I'm sorry if I butchered his name or if I said it wrong. I don't have it in front of me. But he also directed The Big Short, another one of my favorite films, which is about the 2008 financial crisis, which also featured, what's his name? Batman. But overall, I feel like it's definitely improved here because it's very, very subtle. There are some points that I feel like he went a little overboard, and with the unsubtlety. But overall, there are some things that I picked up on that were very smart. I'm gonna go into spoiler territory, but I feel like it's not that big of a spoiler anyways, because you guys aren't gonna see it. So there's a scene where George Bush, played by Sam Rockwell very well, if I might add, he's tapping his foot, right? And then it transitions down to his foot where he's tapping it, and he's giving an address about going into war with Iraq. And he's tapping his foot. And then it transitions to a family in Iraq getting bombed, and he's also tapping his foot. And it was, oh my God, that's incredible. Like, little things like that are why I go to see films. Because it's very smart. It's visual storytelling. You don't have some idiot telling you what's happening, because that's what I hate. I hate when you see a movie like Bird Box and the whole thing is exposition and you're not seeing anything. All you see is people telling you, the monsters are so hideous that you're gonna die if you look at them. Idiot, don't tell us, just have us see it. Have us see it. Alright? Don't tell us. Because that's what films are. If we wanted to see what characters were saying, we'd read a book. The point of film is we have to see it. And that's why I really liked Vice. I thought it was super compelling. It really shined a light on Dick Cheney and how smart he was and how ambitious he was. And I just really loved it. I think it's one of the few 10 out of 10s this year. and I really loved it. Number 1. What was my favorite film this year? Ari Aster's Hereditary was an experience. Like a lot of films that I saw on this list, I saw this one again with my friend Alex. And when we left the theater, we were like completely just like, our eyes were open. We were like, oh my God. Oh my God. Because this film, I think, is a comeback from horror filmmakers about making true horror. This is a true horror film that long after you've left the theater, what's supposed to happen to you is you're supposed to feel scared. Because otherwise it didn't do its job. Otherwise it was just a jump scare film that just went, and you jumped. And that's not scary. That's just your body reacting to a loud noise. That's not horror. That's not what horror is supposed to be. Those are cheap, stupid jump scares that are overused and overbloated in this industry. This film had, I think, very few jump scares, and it was all true horror. I can't describe it, but the film is amazing. There are little nuances that Ari Aster put on the side, and when the shots, you're focusing on what's going on in the center, but he put something off just to the side, and when you notice it, it freaks you out because he's not cutting back to the shot, and you just see this thing that the character doesn't see, and it scares the living hell out of you. There's a scene involving a car, a sister, and a brother that it's the best scene of the whole year. Talking about it right now is just giving me chills. Like, that's how scary it was. This movie chilled me to the core. It really left a mark on me after I left the theater, and it really disturbed me. And that's exactly what I look for in a horror film. And that's why it's at my number 1 spot. I definitely recommend you check out Hereditary if you haven't, because there's not much I can say. You have to just go see the film yourself. It's incredible. The direction, the cinematography, all the acting. Toni Collette and that one kid. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name right now. But the brother. If she doesn't get nominated for Best Actress, I mean, she's probably not, because the Academy tends to look down on genre films. But if she doesn't, dude, I'm gonna be pissed, because she, I think, has delivered the strongest female performance out of the whole year. She blew it out of the park. I thought Toni Collette was amazing. But overall, the whole film, just talking about it right now again, I'm gonna watch it, I think, like, again tonight or tomorrow, because that's how good it was. It really stood out to me as one of the best films of the year, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out. But overall, yeah, those are my top 10. I definitely recommend you check out, I think all of these are out right now. Roma is out. Roma and Buster Scruggs are out on Netflix, so I definitely recommend you check them out. A Star is Born isn't out yet, I think, on Blu-ray. I think it's like a few more weeks, so that one I think is unavailable. Bad Times is available on digital. Sorry to Bother You is on Hulu. 8th Grade is out on digital and Blu-ray. First Man, I think, isn't out yet. That one I think is going to be a little longer. Infinity War has been out for a while. Vice is still in theaters if you guys want to go check it out. I definitely recommend it. Hereditary has been out on digital and Blu-ray for a while, so I definitely recommend you check that one out too. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I will have my top 10 worst films of the year out tomorrow. And man, are these a doozy. These, oh my God. These suck. These are bad. These are bad. These aren't good. They're bad. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And I'll see you guys on the next one.